Session 784, Deleted Portion. Part 3. Ram noted, amused, meaning Seth had already given material on seasoning and on his own book. She said, "No one physical effect called Ruber's slow motion. It has been the overall result of the physical sense." He felt briefly, though quite correctly this evening, that the area now being worked upon involved quickness of motion. Here, at certain positions, motion was not stopped but slowed down. Now, as large muscle areas gradually release, you can expect to see the return of quicker motions. Though some may be in the beginning relatively uncoordinated, the effect of this, however, will quickly pass. The shoulder-arm area is important and connected to the walking, not only as far as overall coordination, but in terms of clear passageways of energy. He felt like crying this afternoon. This was a quite legitimate physical expression, for as tension began to release, it had a force meant to blow outward through tears. The whole process of crying, relaxing those areas involved. This was a healthy physical reaction, therefore, as a sneeze might be, or a cough, particularly involving the lungs and ribs. Laughing releases the same kinds of tensions under different circumstances. The quick actions involved in both laughing and crying also quicken circulation, and actually dislodge body poisons. Natural toxins or elements that have served good purposes biologically and are harmful only if they are then retained. Quicker motion could not appear, however, until the body reached its present status. You can expect that quicker motion then to begin, and it will in turn demand necessary greater circulation. You cannot make conventional judgments in such matters. In practical terms, it is natural for muscles that are restrained to hurt. It was unnatural in those terms for Ruber not to feel soreness in the past when his body stance was so unnaturally restrained. He did not allow his muscles their natural protest. A flexible body suddenly in the position of Ruber's would protest, and it is a sign of his progress that he now feels that protest. It triggers his release. The discomfort itself, accepted, triggers those body responses that will and are rightly the situation. This is highly important. You can minimize pain or discomfort through drugs, cutting down on the cry of any symptoms. The cry of symptoms, however, is meant to bring about a new condition, to trigger healing aspects, so drugs can often impede the healing process. Now, Ruber mentally cut down upon the discomfort of his symptoms, so that the body did not feel its own discomfort strongly enough to trigger healing processes to the degree necessary. If you would keep track, you would find that the sore areas are being treated and trigger their own releases. This same process follows in many areas of all illnesses. The body is a self-healing mechanism. It counts upon feedback data, however. You do not help also victims by having them avoid certain foods. Instead, you remove the impetus for improvement by minimizing the symptoms, which ideally now would activate psychological, spiritual, mental, and physical centers, bringing about necessary adjustments. Rupert's particular soreness will be quite transitory, at one stage only, occurring in fact at the first instances of freedom with any given portion of the body. His beliefs are such now that the body's mobilization processes are vastly accelerated. He is allowing his body its natural expression. The liberated areas initially reflect the dis-ease, the unease. The protests that he blacked out then can immediately begin their own rehabilitation. He is about over that particular process. When the time is right, and it will be, you will have no need to worry about tapes, for example, and the process will be easy, natural, and right. Our prime concern is with the information itself. Beyond that, however, there will be recourse enough, sufficient in other media, and then there will be no strain involved and the conditions will be the best. Events happen in a circular fashion, and to that degree, tapes that would satisfy you both and me are already being made. Robert's recovery is taking place now quicker than it seems to either of you, for the unseen events are the most important ones, and they are accelerating. You can expect the release in physical terms of more muscles and joints, and see the quickening in motion and of sensation. My heartiest regards, and I will tell you, though you have not asked me, you are doing an excellent job on my book. Your decisions are right. Only your own doubts in that regard have caused any difficulties, and despite those, your decisions have been correct. And you have added a perspective that I knew I could count upon. Robert knows that also. Since it is stated the session is finished, and yet because I am not finished, I will send each of you energy, information, and revelations while you are sleeping that will be useful in important ways, whether or not you consciously remember them. The energy of your individual and joint ways, however, and my energy support you. If you have faith in that, then doubts will vanish, and the Ruber's symptoms also will wither away more quickly than you imagine. So will you sense, Joseph, the contours of your own work as it appears in your painting and in unknown reality. What I say for the rest of the evening will be silent. Ralph said, "Thank you, Seth. Good night."